All right, everyone, I am in rural Texas. Let me show you exactly where. I'm in the Panhandle area. You can see the blue dot with the arrow. I'm about 40 miles, or about 40 minutes south of Amarillo. I'm in a town called Happy. Just the name alone makes you want to visit it, doesn't it? In fact, the town's motto is, "The town without a frown." Now, as I drive into downtown, let me show you some of what they call prairie skyscrapers here in Texas. The grain elevators. You can see these from miles out, like 4 or 5 miles out. You could see these, like the skyline of a big city. Anyway, I'm going to head into downtown Happy right now. Happy has about 600 people living here. Peak population was in 1930. There were 724 people here. I do know the downtown is basically abandoned. Most of these buildings were built in the 1920s. So really not much happening here, except for the Happy Bank. And I'm coming upon it in just a second. Believe it or not, there is a lot of Happy Banks scattered throughout the Panhandle. It's a pretty big chain. It's like an old theater. Yeah, there's the Happy State Bank. Yeah, believe it or not, that's a big chain here. And that might be the only functioning business here in downtown Happy. But that's pretty much it. So I'm going to explore the town a little bit, tell you about it. Looks like there's a church way down here at the end of the street. Let me see. I'll give you some of the numbers as I head that way. The median age is 28. That's pretty young. That's surprisingly young for a town like this. The gender breakdown is 55 male, 45 female. Interestingly, of the 45% that are female, 10% of them are widowed. So, yeah, the women, they got a few extra guys to choose from here. Race breakdown, 62% white, 34% Hispanic, 1% black, 3% other. One of the statistics that kind of stuck out for me is the high school graduation rate, 91.1. That's really high. That's above the U.S. average of 85. I don't know why that was a little bit unexpected for me. But yeah, it did surprise me. Per capita income, $17,797. So that's about $342 a week. Median household, $41,750. Poverty, 18.9%. For children 17 and under, it's 35%. So that's a little high. Folks 65 and older, the poverty level is 0. So that's another number that we really didn't expect to see. Median home value, $59,600. All the towns I'm going to show you, the home values are really low. So clearly the cost of living in these towns is very low. Let me see. Let me go find a neighborhood or two, and I'll tell you some more. Now, I was checking out the crime rates, about 20% higher than the national average here. So crime is a bit of an issue. That looks abandoned, doesn't it? The town has a pretty famous resident, or at least at one time very famous, guy named Buddy Knox. He was a pop rock star in the 50s. In 1957, he came out with a song called Party Doll. Went #1, sold over 1 million copies, made him into a star, and the song is significant. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has listed it as one of the songs that shaped modern rock and roll. Another abandoned house there, it looks like. Boy, he's a big boy. I will not mess with him. Let's see, I'm back in downtown. I'm going to make another pass, show you it a little bit in more detail. Now, there was a movie that came out in 1999 called Happy Texas that was set here. It was an independent film, but it had some pretty big stars. William H. Macy, Jeremy Northman, Ron Perlman, Steve Zahn. Basically, it was about some convicts who escaped, got themselves hooked up with a couple of gay pageant organizers who came to town to run a beauty pageant here in Happy, Texas. Of course, hilarity ensues. The movie was called Happy Texas. Sadly, it wasn't filmed here. It was filmed in California. Anyway, you can see much of this downtown has sat empty for quite some time, it looks like. I'm going to see if I can find a gas station and a grocery store now. Just love those old grain elevators. They're so cool looking. Alright, let's see what I can find. Now, I saw a guy a second ago getting gas at these pumps. I initially saw this building thinking that it wasn't in operation, that it was closed, but apparently you can get gas right there at these very old gas pumps. Let's see, credit card pump. I'm pretty sure that the store itself is closed. I'm not sure. Let me see. Doesn't look like there's anybody here, does it? But you can get gas here, it looks like. I can't see what the price is. I will say that we're in Amarillo. You know, again, like 40 miles away, and gas is about $2.80 there. Anyway, groceries. Let me see if I can find something. Ah, there he goes. Let's see if we can see him when we get up here. The second star of these videos. The cat. He was like, "What are you looking at me for, fella? This is my domain." That is an RV park. I'm a tiny bit surprised to see that. Yeah. Got a few RVs parked there. Huh. And there's a cafe. I'm not sure if this cafe is open. Today is Saturday. It's about 11 in the morning. It's late February. In the last week of February, actually. So Saturday nearing lunch, you would think that would be open. Doesn't look like it. Now there's the interstate, by the way. We're not far off the interstate in this video. Well, guys, I can't find any kind of store to buy groceries. And that one little gas station is it. This is a church, by the way, Methodist Church. That is a really modern looking church. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you where I'm at here. That's the whole town. It's very small. I guess people who live here go to nearby Amarillo. Interesting. There's a high school football field, by the way. Well, I think that'll do it here. It's a cool shot. Yeah. I'm going to head to the next town now. Okay, everyone, I am in Tulia, Texas. 1970, there were 5,300 people here. That was peak population. Today, there is 4,400. It's a cool old theater. Let's see, the median age is 36. I'm gonna head into downtown here. Take a look. It's the county seat for Swisher County. There's the county courthouse. It's got an Art Deco feel to it, doesn't it? It's pretty cool. Wow. I like that there in the middle of the street. Anyway, some of the stats of the town. Let's see, the gender breakdown. 57% male, 43% female. Take a look at this downtown. Interestingly, of the 43% of the population that is female, 15% of them are widows. So a lot more males than females here. Let's see, the race breakdown, 52% Hispanic, 34% white, 11% black, and then the rest is just other. City Church. Yeah, look at the downtown here. Let's check out this mural, then I'm going to turn around and go back in the downtown. This is worth a look at, isn't it? I shot it downtown from many years ago, it looks like. And I just showed you that. Looks like a monolith, doesn't it? Huh. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna turn around. A couple other numbers. Poverty level is 31.5%. That's high. That's 2.5 times higher than the national average. If you look at downtown this way. Children 17 and under, it's 41%. Folks 65 and older, 21% live at or under the poverty level. Oh, that's all pretty high. Crime rate, pretty high here too, about twice higher than the national average. Looks like a nice little shop here. Antiques. That's pretty cool. Let's see, the town has a pretty notorious event in its history. It was called the Tulia 46. In 1999, this guy, his name is Tom Coleman, he would go to rural Texas towns and set up drug stings. He came to this town, set up a drug sting, and accused 46 people, mostly black, of selling him drugs. And many of them went to prison. Well, a few years later, they find out that none of it was true. And, well, as you can well imagine, that was quite an issue. Anyway, there's several documentaries on it. Coleman himself ended up being convicted of perjury and got 10 years probation. To me, that seems a little light. I mean, the guy put people in prison. And like I said, they were mostly African Americans. I think he should have got a little prison time himself, but that's just me. Now, I don't think there's a Walmart in town. There's a grocery store right there, though. A town this big, there's probably more than one. But anyway, there's one there. You can see it's right on the edge of downtown. Or basically in downtown, actually. Let's see what else is up here. Now, the median home value here is $71,000, by the way. Look at these guys just hanging out here, loose in the streets. Interesting. Now, I'm just a couple blocks out of downtown, and you get out into residential, you can really see the poverty. Like I told you, the poverty level is almost 3 times higher than the national average. You can see it in a lot of the residential. Of course, these are all abandoned, empty houses. Quite a few of them here. We got one over here. That looks like that's been sitting empty for quite a long time. Yeah, see, there's downtown right there. You can see that white monolith, maybe, hopefully, in the distance there. And just a couple streets out, it's gravel. There's another cat. Well, I'm having a good day as far as cat sightings. That's 2 in 2 towns. Yeah, another abandoned house here. There's several more in that direction also. Yep, that one's sitting empty there. Glass all broken out. Let's see, I'm back out on the main street. The Dollar General. You knew that was going to be here. There's an Allsups up here. See what the price of gas is. What do you guys think? Looks like $2.99. Yeah, $2.99 for a gallon unleaded. I guess you could see that. Yeah, the guy's got a lot of stuff there, doesn't he? The dog protecting it. Yep, he wanted to come at me. He was chained up. Yeah, there's just abandoned houses all over here. I want to say it's abandoned. Yeah, it is. I was gonna say I saw a truck there, but that truck looks like it's been sitting there a long time as well. Over here too. Beware of dog. I guess maybe someone lives there? Not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of this in this town. A lot of these towns you find, you know, some big, huge houses, mansions almost. I haven't seen any of that here. Yeah, just a lot of this here. There's a lot of stuff in that yard, isn't there? Huh. Well, that's going to be enough here. I'm going to head to the next town. As I'm making my way to the next town, I saw this here at the side of the road. Got to show you this. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if this is someone's junkyard, maybe? Junk might not be a fair word. You know, someone's treasure. I mean, I'm thinking it's a business, but anyway, yeah. So I just showed you that scene there. Now up here, look at all the stuff, though. Anyway, so yeah, I had Statue of Liberty of some sort there, and then as you go, they've got the 10 Commandments posted here. How about that? Right here at the side of the road in rural Texas. You shall not covet your neighbor's goods. I don't think it reads that way, does it? Anyway. Wow, isn't that something? Yeah, yeah, I'm in the town of Nazareth. City limit 311. That's something. Well, alright, back on the road. Just a short distance down the road, there's something else here. I'm not sure what the message is here. Wow. Looks like somebody's anti-Mennonite. What's that sign say? You guys read that? Worst thing you can do, marry a real Mennonite. Biatch super producive as a rabbit mama. Woo! Wow. That's something you only see in rural America. Alright everyone, I am arriving in the town of Dimmitt. Dimmitt, Texas. Wow, these really dominate the skyline, if you will. These grain elevators. So big. This town's a little bit different than the last town in terms of prosperity. Aside from the population loss, of course. 1980 was peak population, a little over 5,000 people here. Right now there are 4,100 people. So the town is losing population, but the other numbers are better. Per capita income's 24,800. Median household income is 55,300. That's over 1,000 a week, about 1,070. Poverty level 8.8. That's low. That's lower than the U.S. average. Children 17 and under, it's 11%, and for seniors 65 and older, it's 3%. Anyways, I'm in downtown now. Here's the Castro County Courthouse. It's beautiful. Moderna, they call it. Very similar to Art Deco. Seems Art Deco to me. It's got an old theater over there. Gonna have to take a quick look at that. The Carlisle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Set and empty, of course. And we got a Family Dollar here. Anyway, I'm just kind of making a circle around this square. Now, I'll tell you some more. Median age is 34. Gender breakdown, 52% male, 48% female. Race breakdown, let's see, 73% Hispanic, 24% white, 1% black, 2% Asian. Median home value here is $88,000. So that's still pretty low. Probably going to get lower. I was looking at the U.S. median average for homes. It's starting to come out now for 2022, and dropped a lot. Median home value in the U.S. dropped to $383,000. That's down from $428,000 in 2021. And the actual numbers, it's pretty astonishing. One of the biggest drops in home value in U.S. history in 2022, in the trillions, several trillion. Oh, that's pretty crazy. Not really seeing the 2022 home values or the estimates for small towns yet. Those numbers should be coming out pretty soon, and I can start using those instead. But yeah, expect to see home values get even lower as I tell them to you in these little town visits. Well, what's more American than a garage sale, or a yard sale in this case? Yep, somebody having a yard sale. Well, okay, I think I've seen enough here. Going ahead to the last town. Yeah, so that's coming up next. All right, everyone, I have arrived in Hereford, Texas. This is a bigger town. It is slowly losing population, though. In 1980, there were 15,853 people here. Today, there's just over 15,000. So the town has lost a little population over the last, 40 years. Not a lot, a little. Very productive town. I'll tell you more about that as we look around. That's a cool train depot there. Anyway, I'm heading into downtown here. Alright, so the town is named after the one in England, and of course after the cattle breed, of which there are a significant amount of in this town. In fact, this small city calls itself the beef capital of the world, on account of the huge feedlots here. They feed over 1 million head of cattle a year here. Another interesting thing about the town is that the local water supply has an unusually high level of fluoride. And so the town calls itself the town without a toothache. Anyway, median age here is 30. It's a pretty young town. The population is pretty young. The gender breakdown, 50-50. Male, female. Race breakdown, 80% Hispanic, 18% white, 1% black, 1% Asian. Per capita income, $21,300. I'm gonna turn down this way. Median household income, $49,070. Poverty level is 14.4%, a shade higher than the U.S. average. For kids 17 and under, it's 19%. For older folks, 65 and older, it's 16%. Crime here is about 20% higher than the national average. Also, this is one of the most productive towns in the country. I will tell you more about that as well. I'm going to go find that courthouse first, and I'll tell you all about it. Meanwhile, there's some pretty houses here. Yeah, that's a beauty there. Anyway, oh yeah, another one over here. There's nice houses here. All right, let's go find that courthouse. Now, Hereford is the county seat of Deaf Smith County. I know, I'm like, Deaf Smith, what's that mean even? Turns out that Deaf Smith was a partially deaf scout and soldier who fought in the Texas Revolution. And he was the first person to arrive at the Alamo after that famous battle. So he's got a county named after him, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, here's the Deaf Smith County Courthouse. I'm going to stop and get out on foot, take a closer look. Well, I'm here at the county courthouse. Built in 1910. It is classical revival architecture. So it takes its cues from ancient Greece. You can kind of see that. Of course, you got the big Texas star there. This county courthouse is unusual and actually quite famous in that it's made of marble. Very few county courthouses are made of marble. That's usually reserved for state capitals. So this is pretty well known in architectural circles. I think it's still in use. I'm kind of surprised to see boarded up windows. I'm wondering what's going on with that. Maybe there's a refurbish going on. Yeah, this was only the second county courthouse ever built with marble. Like I said, 1910 at a cost of $125,000, which Made it one of the most expensive ever built. And there's a train. So we got downtown over here. While I'm on foot, I'll tell you a little bit more about this town, and it's how productive it is. As a windmill there. I believe this was also nicknamed Windmill City at one time because of how many of these there were. It sure is a beautiful courthouse. I hate seeing those boarded up windows. Huh. It's absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, about this town and its productivity, this is what is produced in this town annually, once a year. 125 million gallons of milk, 100 million pounds of cheese, 47 million pounds of butter, 125 million gallons of ice cream, over 1 billion pounds of grain is produced here. It's used to make bread, tortillas, and whiskey. Not only that, one of the biggest pet food companies is here in town, Merrick. So they're making a lot of pet food here too. That's astonishing. The per capita income, or the per capita GDP's got to be crazy in this town. I didn't even look it up. I should have. Anyway, yeah, another look at that courthouse. And I'm gonna show you the Bronco real quick. Still filthy from driving around Yuma on the border there, along the border fence. It's looking pretty disgusting, isn't it? Anyway, let's see, there's a grocery store right there. Food King. That being said, there's a Walmart here. This town's big enough for a Walmart. Yeah, just checking out the residential area here. Even though it's old and run down, the architecture is really interesting there. Kind of caught my eye, what can I say? Alright, I couldn't not show you this. That's very eclectic, shall we say? I'm not sure if I told you the median home values here. 90,100. Alright everyone, so that's going to be the end of this video. By the time you watch this, we will have been to Dallas for our monthly visit. You know, check the mail, get a haircut, get the oil changed, and we'll be on our way north. We're going to head into Illinois, Indiana. I'm going to visit the infamous Gary, Indiana, probably Ohio, maybe even a little Kentucky and Arkansas. So that's what's coming up in March. Be looking for those. We'll see you then.